Hey everybody, haven't made a video in a while, but I figured I'd make one on this little project I had going. It's a Maisto, I don't know. It's a toy grade remote control crawler, and it's really fun right out of the box. It's easy to just put some batteries in it. It takes 6 AA's in the actual unit, and then 2 AA's in the receiver. Like I said, it works really good right out of the box. The only issue is you don't have proportional steering or proportional throttle. One issue with these right out of the box is cogging, which is when you're going and say you get in a bind, the front wheels will pull and the back wheels won't, or the back wheels will pull and the front wheels won't. That's an issue with the motor sizes. It doesn't have enough torque. But what I've went ahead and done just to make this toy a little more fun, I've upgraded it all to hobby grade electronics. The front factory steering system on this is a little motor, and it has just like little breakaways, plastic, that when it goes all the way to one way, it'll stop it. When it goes all the way the other way, it'll stop it. It's not very strong. If you get it in any kind of bind, steering won't work, and it really only works good when you're moving forward or backward. So I've upgraded it to, I just got a micro servo. I didn't go with steel gears. I had read some reviews, and some people have done this before, and I didn't go with the steel ones just because I figured it's going to be so much better than the factory just as is. If I ever have a problem, I can get a metal one. This one was like $12 versus $30 for the steel one. It's the same torque rating. So what I did is I put that servo in the front, made a little crossover using the factory plastic steering bar, and took a link off of that servo and made it work. I also put a Traxxas speed controller and just split the outlets to make it be able to go to both the front and rear motor. I also put a Traxxas, or no, I use the digital receiver and controller, but it all works really great. I'll do a brief video of showing it climbing over some obstacles, as well as how the battery and all that goes in there and the way the servo's hooked up. Here's how the battery setup goes in there. I just hollowed out where these AA's go. Have a little lead coming out of the body over here that has the power wire and the on-off switch. So the hollowed out these plastic pieces here, so the battery will sit right down in there. This is a 2-cell LiPo, 7.4 volt. Plenty of power for these little motors. It's actually a lot more efficient too than the factory, which was I think set up at 9 volts. Would be 3, 6, 9. On-off switch is just in here. I want to mount it, and I cut a little notch here to mount it, but right now I just have it tucked in there and did a little cutaway so everything, all the wires will fit in there and won't get pinched. So the factory cover goes on there. It just slides in these 2 little recesses, presses down, and has a lock right there. So everything's locked away, clean and tidy. Let me turn it on first. Here's the controller and receiver I'm using. So like I said, it has a ton more power than it did factory, and it's all proportional, so you can actually use it and not have to worry about just running full throttle into an obstacle or anything like that. Here's the unit. It's just a rock crawler, little basic model. Here's the way I did the steering. So this is where the factory motor and everything was housed. I was actually able to maintain the factory box, notched out the front of it, so this servo is actually just sandwiched in the factory spot. Little micro servo here. Made this drop arm, just burned a little hole. I heated up this wire real hot and stuck it down through there, because this little plastic piece is plenty strong, and it's a straight through shot, and that's how it was set up factory. And so now that arm holds it, has full steering. Pretty awesome. So let's see if we can get it to crawl a little bit. It's going to be hard to do with one hand, but let's see what I can do. So I just got a couple boulders, and that's a railroad tie. Set up this camera. He's got plenty of power. See, here's the issue with the cogging. I can show you on this one. Like, the front wheels are pulling, but the back wheels are not. So you got to just kind of bump it, and then it'll pull itself up. So that's a pretty steep hill. Oh, tipped over. But it'll climb up this railroad tie, no problem. Right over it. It has great articulation for just a little toy grade crawler. You pull right up on that railroad tie, flexing out. And I can, well, that steering servo is stronger now, so I can actually steer it when it's in a situation like that. It doesn't steer that great just because it is locked front and rear, but tipped over again. That's a good articulation shot there. Great torquey little motors. I think I'm not really familiar with how these motors are rated, but I think they start out, it's a 130 series, which for what I do with it, seems to be plenty strong. People start to run brushless setups and all that, which seem to have a ton more power, but I don't want to get into modifying those cases and everything, and until something goes wrong, I have plenty of fun with it like this. So hopefully you guys can see how I did it. If you guys have any more questions, just feel free to ask, and I'll help you the best I can. This is a fun little toy, though. It was $32 from Walmart, and I just did all that hobby grade stuff with the stuff I had laying around. Like I said, it's just a micro servo, like for a RC plane or something. Nothing crazy at all. Does a really good job with the steering. And that's in a bind. See if we can get it to go over this rock one more time, and that'll conclude the video. Pretty awesome little truck. Thanks for watching, guys.